Coming up on The Cut, Arizona has a new governor, the latest on Katie Hobbs' victory and her plan for the state.
Plus, 2024 is here. The new candidates jumping into the race, including one former president.
And a lot of Taylor Swift fans have bad blood with Ticketmaster. We will tell you why coming up. The Cut starts now. Hello and welcome to the Cut Network. I'm Lauren Avenatti.
And I'm Donovan Growney. Results are coming in a week after the midterm. The Arizona governor's race was one of the many that were called after Election Day. For more on the decision, here is Tyler Abrams.
Thanks, Donovan. Lauren, nearly 1 week after the midterm elections, Katie Hobbs was elected governor of Arizona after facing off against Republican candidate Kari Lake. Hobbs' win comes despite concerns over her mild-mannered campaign style when faced with Lake's election fraud narrative. Her refusal to debate Kari Lake directly on the campaign trail left some of her supporters concerned whether her, quote, evasiveness and aversion to the spotlight would affect her chances of getting reelected. However, these criticisms proved fruitless as Hobbs calmly addressed voters who did not vote for her, saying, quote, I will work just as hard for you because even in this moment of division, I believe there's so much more that connects us, end quote. Kari Lake has yet to concede the election. However, she has publicly declared her support for former President Donald Trump's bid for the 2024 presidential election. Thursday morning, she visited Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. She had also posted a video to social media declaring that she is, quote, exploring every avenue and her, quote, resolve to fight for you is higher than ever, end quote. Back to you, Donovan and Lauren.
Thank you, Tyler, for the update and for keeping us informed throughout the election cycle.
Democrats are going to retain control of the Senate after November 8th's midterm election. After a tight race in Nevada, which saw Democrat Catherine Cortez Masto narrowly beat out Republican Adam Laxalt, the win in Nevada gave the Democrats their 50th seat in the Senate and a guaranteed majority. Republicans also won the House by gaining 5 seats. The entire House will be sworn in January 3rd.
Donald Trump made a big announcement on Monday night, and it concerns the 2024 election. Here is Leslie Chapman with more information.
Thank you, Donovan. That's right. Former President Donald Trump has officially launched his 2024 presidential campaign. He spoke in Mar-a-Lago on Monday night. Here's his announcement.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Trump has been teasing this bid since he left office in 2021. This announcement comes 1 week after the red wave that Republicans anticipated for the 2022 midterm elections did not happen according to plan. Trump was initially hoping to launch his campaign in the wake of major GOP midterm victories, fueled by candidates that he endorsed. However, many of those candidates lost. Republicans lost in competitive Senate races in purple states like Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Arizona, and Nevada. As for the House, Republicans are close to control, but by a smaller majority than they were anticipating, which will likely hamper their ability to pass legislation next year. Now, this campaign is a remarkable turn considering Trump was the first president to be impeached twice during his presidency and whose term ended with his supporters violently storming the Capitol on January 6, 2021. Trump's decision to run paves the way for a potential rematch with President Joe Biden. Biden said he intends to run for president in 2024 despite concerns by some in his party due to his age and low approval ratings. The two were already the oldest presidential nominees when they ran in 2020. Now, if Trump were to win the 2024 presidential election, he would be the second U.S. president in history to serve 2 non-consecutive terms, following Grover Cleveland's wins in 1884 and 1892. For The Cut, I'm Leslie Chapman.
Thank you, Leslie. It'll be interesting to see him run for a 3rd time.
Investigators are still searching for who fired the Russian-made missile that ended up in Poland, where at least 2 people are dead. This happened on Tuesday when a missile landed in Poland just 4 miles west of the Ukrainian border. Many believe the Russians are involved, but both the U.S. and Russia say this is not the case. NATO says that the missile was likely fired by Ukraine-based rebels as an anti-aircraft fire intended to hit Russian planes. Both Ukraine and Russia have been using Russian-made S-300 surface-to-air missiles during this war.
3 University of Virginia students died Sunday after a former football player allegedly shot 3 former teammates. The shooting happened Sunday night at a campus parking lot when the entire football team was coming back from a field trip. Devin Chandler, a second year, Level Davis, a junior, and Deshaun Perry all died after being hit by gunfire. Witnesses say the shooting was targeted. The campus was locked down for 12 hours in search of the shooter, according to police. The university's final football game for this weekend has been canceled.
With December right around the corner, sickness runs rampant. Cut reporter Carly Poyer tells us why scientists believe this season will be so dangerous.
COVID-19 is once again making a comeback. Currently in Australia, a cruise ship docked with over 800 people are suffering from COVID. The cruise ship says most cases are asymptomatic. This time, COVID is joined by 2 additional viruses, including influenza, a once expected staple to this time of year, but due to COVID-19 mask mandates and travel restrictions, had seen a steep decline in the past 2 years. With those restrictions virtually gone, infectious disease expert Dr. Althana Wagmer says we'll be seeing everything come back with a vengeance. The 2 viruses are lastly joined by respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, and what some news outlets are calling a triple-demic. Although the 3 viruses have similar symptoms and are expected to be mild, cases involving the youth, elderly, pregnant, and immunocompromised are more at serious risk of hospitalization and death. There are vaccines for COVID-19 and the flu that will protect against these risks. Pfizer is working on a vaccine for RSV that is currently in late-stage clinical trials. In Arizona, a triple-demic peak could prove to be especially fatal to the at-risk youth. Arizona Children's Hospital beds are already at 96 capacity due to the surge of pediatric respiratory infections from this year's flu season. For the Cut Network, I'm Carly Poyer.
After months of delays and hurdles, the Artemis 1 mission has lifted off. The spacecraft took off from Cape Canaveral, Florida, early Tuesday morning. This is a video the spacecraft transmitted back to NASA using one of the spaceship's 16 cameras. This launch is step 1 in NASA's quest to get Americans back to the moon. This mission will only do a flyby within 60 miles of the lunar surface, as opposed to landing on the moon.
Taylor Swift fans were not ready for it when it came to the Ticketmaster disaster that was buying tickets to her newest tour. Ticketmaster pre-sales for the Eras Tour went on all day yesterday, starting as early as 10 a.m., but the sales were disastrous for many fans. Some waited in line for 4 to 5 hours just for tickets to be sold out. Ticketmaster responded to the issue by tweeting the demand for tickets was unprecedented. The general sale that was supposed to happen tomorrow was canceled by Ticketmaster Thursday at 1 p.m. due to low ticket inventory that would not meet demands. The 2023 Grammy nominations are in, and the Queen is at the top. Beyoncé is the leader in Grammy nominations, including the highly coveted Song of the Year. This is all for her album Renaissance, which she released earlier this year. Beyoncé is now tied with Jay-Z for a record career total of 88 Grammy nominations. A reminder, the 65th annual Grammys will happen on February 5th, 2023.
Christmas is in a little more than a month, which means it's time for Netflix to release their holiday movies. Lindsay Lohan starred in Netflix's latest Christmas film, and reporter Ashley Oriana is here to give us more information.
Thank you, Donovan and Lauren. Lindsay Lohan is back, bringing us Christmas a little early this year with new Netflix film Falling for Christmas, which premiered this past weekend. The movie, directed by Janine Damian, has fans eager for her comeback after being absent from our screens for nearly a decade. Cord Overstreet is co-starring, whom some may recognize from his role, Sam Evans from Glee, as her love interest. Falling for Christmas is a rom-com film that takes place like in a slow globe-like resort with a young spoiled girl trying to figure out her life with her glam squad by her side. However, her life comes into a halt when she has a skiing accident and loses her memory. She ends up in a cabin with a young man and his daughter who take her in and offer her help. In the premiere of her movie, which took place in New York City, she said, "Thank you, Netflix, for giving me this opportunity to start acting again." Lindsay Lohan, recognizable for her roles Freaky Friday and The Parent Trap and Mean Girls, had placed her acting career on pause and finally returned this November with her first project. Her movie had fans thrilled to see her pay tribute to Mean Girls by singing Jingle Bell Rock, in which her character says, "I love this song." Despite receiving poor reviews, the movie's on Netflix's top 10 watch list, We may need a cheesy Christmas movie with happy endings, or people are simply excited to see Lindsay acting again. But we will see more of Lohan, with Netflix announcing that the actress has another film in the works, The Irish Wish, which will air in 2023. For The Cut, I am Ashley Orellana.
Be sure to tune into the movie. Ever wanted your water to have an extra kick to it? Well, one sparkling water company is taking it one step further.
That's right, take a look at this. This is a new flavor from the company Ora Bora. The flavor of the sparkling water is green bean casserole. The company says the flavor will have a sweet, earthy, and buttery flavor to it. This limited time flavor will be available through the company's secret menu.
Lauren, I have no words for this. What are your thoughts?
I could honestly see this becoming a Thanksgiving staple.
Really?
Absolutely.
I think whoever came up with this needs to be, fired. I don't know how in the thinking room that's what they came up with, but anyway, thank you for watching The Cut. Be sure to follow us on Twitter @TheCutASU.
We will see you next time on The Cut.